Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only Tiana here once again, and welcome back for some more of the Forms of the Mexi Toys videos, as always. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Banjo-Kazooie, Grunty's Revenge for the Game Boy Advance. So, last time we did manage able to start the game off, and we did manage able to explore for quite a bit in Spiral Mountain, and also we did manage able to experience the first main world in the game, which appears to be Cliff Farm. Overall, pretty easy though, despite I come across into a couple of deaths here and there, but regardless of anything else though, that's as far as you usually might be able to concern about death perception in mind. So today, for this video, is the fact that we are going to be moving on to the second world in the game, known as Breegull Beach. So in this case though, much like in Treasure Trove Cove from the likes of the original Banjo-Kazooie, we're going to be experiencing a beach level. So either way though, except the fact that we don't get ourselves our glorious nostalgia soundtrack from the likes of the forms of the original game, so we'll just have to deal with it, I guess. So anyways, let's go in and explore this place. So anyway, and I think, fundamentally speaking, we might able to actually meet up with the forms of Kazooie at some point, but we need to find our way to able to actually just try to able to get to her. So hopefully that should be a little bit of a thing we can obviously try to do. So either way though, let's just go ahead and keep on moving around and all that stuff though, while trying to able to still collecting those music notes and also some other items here and there. So yeah, you probably expected by this point. And also we stumbled across a shell. In this case, like a curl-shaped shell, if I was assuming correctly. So in this case though, that's all I can honestly try to ask for. So anyway, a few things I want to explain from this point today. That is the fact that today's day is of course the 14th of July today, in this case in 2022 today. Oh, and by the way, before we talk more details about that, here we have ourselves our familiar eggs, which we can't use them right now, because obviously we need our companion, which is of course Kazooie first. So because of that, we actually got ourselves the returning blue eggs, which I'm presuming that this allows us to able to actually shoot those blue eggs, but we can't learn that just yet though. Like I said, this is mainly obvious because of the fact that we need able to rescue her first. So in this case though, we'll still need able to try to find her. So either way though, we can able to expect this much. So, and also we can able to actually have the ability to swim, of course, so either way though we can able to find certain things. And I see there's tons of bubbles popping up, but before I get in that though, I need to swim to the right, so just in case I need able to grab not only musical notes, but also just quite a few collectibles here and there. Like, for example, I need to go up there and just try to grab some more music notes in the process there, so we can able to expect how this is going. So I should probably point this out right away as well, I guess, is the fact that know about the fact that, like I said, that today's day is of course the 14th of July today, in this case in 2022 today. So it looks like about the fact the matter is though, is that we pretty much almost nearly at the forms of the halfway point in terms of this month in July. So in this case though, we can able to expect of what's going to be super surprising and during the next couple of days worth time worth noting for. But I digress. I have no idea why I just managed able to point things out right away. This is pretty obvious because of how the fact I was able to explain more details about this, but either way though, I think I should probably save that conversation until later down the road for the sake of the forms of this entire month. So yeah, because as you can see that we actually stumbled across Bullseye right here, and because of this though, yeah, we can't learn that move because we need able to get Kazooie with us. So that's a pretty obvious hint right there, and especially noticeable about the fact that we can't get up there on top of that. So in this case though, we need to figure out something in order able to actually just to get, the actual Jiggy itself. And as far as I'm aware from this point is the fact that the actual video's length might be exactly the same as the forms of how it does it on the first part of this Let's Play. So because of this though, most of those worlds can go by for about a few minutes at minimum or something like that. So hey there, you wouldn't mind lend me a hand, would you? Only I haven't got any myself. Huh? I said I need a hand to shift an irritating shiny thing that's blocking the door to my room. If you'd care to dive and follow me into the old wreck, you can keep the shiny thing for yourself. Okay, sounds legitimate. So in this case, we need to able to actually swim down there, so that way we can able to actually find, specifically, whenever we try to able to get, you know, more music notes there, and eventually we'll able to come across into, my guess it will be another Jiggy we can collect. So, hopefully that should be the case at this point. So, anyways, let's go ahead and dodge those little moms and all that stuff though. And of course there are some air bubbles just in case you don't want to able to drown yourself. You know, just like in the forms of how it does it on the Sonic the Hedgehog game, except we on a different perspective with all that. Almost kind of like an isometric view kind of perspective or something. Well, mind you, because like I said, that the Game Boy Advance doesn't have a huge capabilities when it comes to likely have a true 3D experience, unlike certain other games. Like, in addition with Mario Kart Super Circuit, but also, well, despite that game does have its flat tracks, whilst compared to the remake counterparts of those specific tracks, they managed to get fully 3D in the future games, likely for Mario Kart DS and Mario Kart Wii, Mario Kart 7, at least in one of those cases, and eventually we're able to get some more tracks later down the road for Mario Kart 8 / Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So, that might be something worth noting for the sake of convenience, that is. So, speaking of such, there's the Jiggy just right over there. And immediately after that, though, we can able to actually get in there to able to rescue another Jinjo, which this time we're about to be rescuing the yellow Jinjos. Because I'm pretty sure that on the previous world, that basically we did manage to rescue, is it possible I can able to actually escape out of the underwater without meaning to able to actually decide able to go for this entire ordeal? Let me test that out. Oh, I can. Sweet. So at the very least I can't be, at the very least I will, be very grateful if I was trying to able to do the quickest method by able to actually escape from that particular underwater segment in case if I don't drown. So, that should be pretty good. So, anyway, so let's go in here, and oh, we ended up in Grunty's quarry. Okay, that's interesting noticing there. So yeah, it's basically like a combination of a sunny beach level in addition to like a quarry kind of segment right there. So I guess that's a kind of a cool combination theme world as far as that's been concerned with. So but enough about that sightseeing, because we still need to figure out how on earth are we able to actually just to make our way to the next boss, and eventually try to able to meet up with Kazooie again after, you know, the kind of a bare bones beginning, but regardless of such though, we'll have to able to stick around with it for a little while, especially noticeable after dealing with a lot of enemies and all that stuff, and thus I don't think we can able to actually do that, the backflip jump yet either, so because of that though, we need to figure out something, so... Anyway, so there's a switch right there, so I guess that's that, I suppose. Oh, I just realized something, that we're pretty much almost nearly at the end of the actual music notes department for the sake of the forms of this world, so I was quite surprised, honestly, because either way though, despite, I was a bit confused at first with the actual world itself like this, but hopefully by that time it's all in the next world, then I won't be able to have that much troubles, I guess, but either way though, we'll just have to wait and see, so... Anyways, let's go ahead and keep on exploring, so just in case I need to able to reminder about the fact that where those music notes are, because most of the time though is the fact that the only kind of annoying thing about this is sometimes is the fact that if you try to find the forms of certain music notes, then most of the time those music notes can be very well hidden sometimes with all that, you know, the isometric view, or in this case the perspective depth perception. So in this case though is the fact that you never know of the where the forms of those specific music notes are. So because of that though, there might be a few times that you might able to actually come across into certain music notes clearly visible, whilst most of the time it's been blocked by the forms of certain view perspective wise. But either way though, I'm sure I will able to actually just try to able to find the rest of them for you guys out there, for those who have not played this game yet, for not only the original cartridge version, but also on the emulator, because, like I said, there's no Wii U Virtual Console re-release on this game, because it's kind of a shame, because even then though, unlike the original Banjo-Kazooie game that did recently came out on the Switch Online membership service, which is always a pretty awesome thing as far as that's been concerned, but either way though, let's just go ahead and, oh wait a second, we do need able to rescue those specific I don't know about you, those specific birds do kind of remind me like the forms of Kazooie for a bit, except somehow they ended up like pink counterparts of them herself. That's actually pretty cool, but hey, at least that's something as usually as far as this is concerned. And also we got ourselves another Jinjo already, and of course as you can tell that we actually transform into a mouse transformation in order to able to actually access to Quarry Heights, as far as you can probably tell for this point. So anyways, let's see on the checklist here. It feels like we're almost done here, despite the fact that we're going to be doing a lot of busy work when it comes to likely trying to explore certain places and all that stuff though. So, oh jeez, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here. Am I supposed to able to... Well, mind you, it has been a very long time since I actually experienced this world, because, well, like I said, I've actually experienced quite a lot of Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Kazooie. So in this case though, do I have to... Oh, we're supposed to free them. Okay, by simply able to eat the actual, I would say like a chain or something like that. So I have no idea why Banjo Mouse can able to have the capabilities by able to actually eat the actual the ball of chain and stuff like that, which is always crazy if you ask me, but at least I don't mind about it too much. So I believe we need to rescue about 5 of these, so, and I think once we rescue all 5 of them, potentially speaking, oh jeez, those guys can really hurt you if you manage to able to transform into a mouse transformation, because, well, then again, you have no way to attack any other enemies and stuff like that, so, yeah, if you are small enough to fit into this hole, yeah, you can able to actually just to break the chains, like we already just did, so... is Grunty responsible for able to actually just to trap them or something? Oh, wait a second, I think there are about 6 of them. Ah, jeez, I think I've actually lost count of how many there are. Well, mind you, because of how in fact I always keep on thinking about the forms of other collectibles, like those shells that we collected earlier. So as a result though, yeah, apparently we're about to be rescuing 6 of those specific Kazooie-like birds. Well, except the fact that we don't come across into the real Kazooie just yet though, until we figure out for ourselves, so... And unfortunately though, I've seemed to able to come across into a lot of game overs so far because, well, then again though, because of the forms of depth perception and also the enemy damage input or the damage output is actually a little bit higher, at least assuming if you're able to transform into a mouse ability or the mouse transformation. Oh wait, is that all? Nah, it can't be because we only got 1 left, so... Yeah, I guess we'll have to go back in there again for the 3rd time, and hopefully we'll be able to find the last, you know, pink Kazooie kind of, character or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what the characters' names are. That's mainly because I don't remember the forms of that much characters in this game, unlike, you know, Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, that I've recognized most of the characters, so, oh my god, okay. Alright, there it is right there. So I think I accidentally skipped that entirely. So anyway, so now we've actually done with that. And then sure enough, if we managed able to get, oh, Breegulls. Yeah, that's what their names are. So now we just need to able to actually get out of this place. And hopefully we'll be able to get ourselves our next Jiggy. So I think the fastest way we can able to actually just to get back is by, oh god, okay. Is by going for this hole over there. So it doesn't matter which way you're about to go. Either the forms the exit route, or the exit route, or the entrance route. It really doesn't matter which way you go. So, there we go. 2 Jiggies so far, so only 2, oh actually, kind of think about it, we only got 8 left, so... But here's the thing though, that, first off, let me just go ahead and transform back into the bear form of Banjo himself, so at the very least we can able to actually do just that. I think that, most of the time on certain worlds throughout the game, I don't think we can able to come across into another transformation in this world so far, so because of that though, I think, relatively speaking, this might actually be the only world that, it will not able to contain a new transformation until the later worlds, so that's as far as I can usually just try to able to consider that. Just like in certain worlds, from the likes of the forms of, you know, Banjo-Kazooie. Whilst, unlike in Banjo-Tooie, I think you're able to come across into every transformation in every single world, if I recall correctly, which is always swell if you ask me, so... Anyway, so we've managed to able to found every single shells, so we now need to able to talk to this particular mouse fella, which, gotta think about it, he does kind of reminds me of the forms of one of those characters in Flushed Away, either Roddy C. James, or... I have no idea. It has been a while since I actually watched Flushed Away, but I really enjoyed the film still. Especially notable about the fact that that was the only Armin DreamWorks film they managed able to do not cooperate with stop motion, because after the events of 2005's Burning Building, after the events of when Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit released, in the UK at least, so it's kind of tragic though, after the events of likely 12 years ago, which is kind of scary if you ask me. Oh wait, no way, it was actually is it 12 years ago? No way, it can't be, it was 17 years ago. I keep thinking about the films of other specific years in the past because, well, I just have no idea what I managed to able to actually say something a bit weird for this point today. That's only mainly because about the fact that, well, I've already mentioned about quite a few bits, ever since on Tuesday, you know, with the fact that with Mario Luigi Dream Team Brothers has already been out for 9 years, and same applies to the films of Monsters University in the UK version, whilst compared to the Americans, already got the film back in the films of in June in 2013, so yeah, I do apologize for that. So hopefully until maybe at some point in the next few parts in this playthrough, then I should be able to actually mention about the forms of other conversations aside from, you know, weird gibberish about it. So anyways, let's use the backpack to able to actually activate the switch, and that way we can able to open up the next boss. So let's see what we're going to be fighting against. Oh, well, you look at that. Captive Breegulls are the best. They work all day without a rest. Now that I have trapped Kazooie, Banjo, I can make chop suey. Be careful, Miss Mecha Grunty. Batteries still recharging. Gruntilda needs to keep moving for protective. Shield to work. Oh, speaking of such, look, Banjo's here, without Kazooie's beak. No doubt your efforts will be weak. You won't hurt me much without a bill, so I hope you'll writen out your will. So yeah, we're about to face off against with Mecha Grunty right here, so I think she was pretty much easy as well, so all she really does, she just managed to walk around, and that's pretty much about it. And just like in forms of Klungo, that every once in a while, that one of his shields were about to be down, so yeah, honestly, that is just kind of a joke, honestly, because, well, all you're really doing is basically the exact same thing as you fight against with Klungo ever since in Cliff Farm, which I've no idea why they toned down the difficulty in this game when it comes to bosses department. I mean, sure, there are a few bosses that give me any sort of trouble until later on, but then again, we'll point out until then, so oh yeah, whenever we get to the halfway point, every once in a while, she managed able to jump up for a bit, and then if you pay attention to the actual drop shadow, that is when she'll able to try to stomp you, and then basically that's all you have to do here. So I think on the last phase, she pretty much does the same thing, except she now goes a bit fast. So anyways, there she goes. My defeat was a surprise. I think the sun was in my eyes. I'd better get this suit upgraded. The bear alone, I underrated, I should say. And so from here, we get ourselves not only the next Jiggy, but also we can finally rescue Kazooie. So yeah, about time to able to actually have her as in the entire adventure now. Kazooie, am I glad to see you? I thought Grunty would have made you into a monster by now. I'm okay, Banjo, never mind me. We've got to put an end to old Rusty Knicker's plans. Grunty's doing everything in her power to change the past and make sure that we never meet in the future. So hooray, we've now got Kazooie now. So because of that though, my wings are really stiff, and it looks like you could use some extra jumping height to get more jiggies. It looks like we need the flap flip. still, yeah, we can able to actually just able to hold the L button and then press the A button. So that way, we can now able to pull off a backflip right now. So either way though, yeah, about time to able to actually just do this now. So now we can able to actually just, well, despite the fact that we got a move immediately, so that should be worth a while. So there we go, we've now able to got Kazooie now. So, well, the only missing feature is the fact that we haven't got the ability to fly yet, but hopefully we will come across into it as soon as we're able to talk to Bullseye right now, so at the very least we can able to talk to him. So, your screwy sidekick is here to help, so yeah, press the L button and then press the B button, which actually gives us the ability to able to do egg firing. So yeah, pretty cool, especially noticeable we can now able to actually shoot stuff. So I'm pretty sure it functions the same way as the forms of how it does it in Banjo-Tooie, that basically Banjo can able to actually use Kazooie as like a gun, and then basically you can able to actually shoot those blue eggs in any sort of direction. So that should be worth a while, especially if we come across into the skull. Basically, we got ourselves another fight. Okay. Another lumber trying to steal me gold. Is it? Well, I'll give her a taste of hot iron for her troubles. Yar. Won't catch me with an egg through my face. I'm not sure why I'm saying things weirdly enough at this point today, because, well, I was getting able to try to impress myself with the actual pirate's accent, but unfortunately, though, that doesn't seem the case. So, anyway, like I said, here's the next boss. Technically speaking, it's like a mini fight of any sort, and basically, every once in a while, we're able to do some of the actual shooting segments. And I think there was only 2 of them in this game, so relatively speaking, that I just died. Oh well, no big deal, but at the very least we respawned right there, so at the very least we can able to actually get our full health immediately. So, I'll have to admit though, those segments can be felt a bit slightly tricky at first, because not only do you have to move yourself, but also move the cursor around, so that way you can able to aim yourself with the actual, the boss's target. So, can be felt a bit finicky at points, but regardless of such though, when you get used to it, it shouldn't be too bad. And then every once in a while, thankfully, there are some Blue X restocks that if you're about to run out of them, thankfully you can able to pick those up, and then that way you can able to refill your Blue Egg storage. So, yeah, for this particular boss fight, I'm presuming that you only have to hit him about 3 times, and that's all you really have to do. So, and there he goes. Salty showers and curses on Yar. Very sninged for the gold from under me, one eye. I'm off their check. The rest of me treasure safe in the deep blue. And there he goes. And then we should be able to get ourselves another Jiggy in the process. So, that's all for that one. So, anyway, so now we can able to actually just to keep on exploring in this place. And, hopefully we'll try to able to find another move somewhere. I think this is one of them. Oh, come on! Can I just speak to you from there? There we go. Ay. Sometimes he can be really bothersome at points if you really want to speak to him so badly, but of course you still need to able to actually just try to go for face to face with him. So I totally get it because of the forms of depth perception or even eye contact. So anyway though, so we can able to actually now have the ability to, well, just try to able to do a bit of a glide now. So either way though, that way we can now able to actually just to fly for a bit. So yeah, kudos to that, because I'm pretty sure that unlike in Banjo-Kazooie, that at least specifically in the beginning of the game, that basically though, what's in here? Oh, we got a mini game. Okay. So basically in this particular mini game is the fact that we need to able to keep a hold of the actual treasure at all times, and then if you hold it for way longer, then I would assume to you that you will actually win a Jiggy, but if not, then you have to try again. So at the very least there's a retry option at the very least. So anyways, let's get this thing going, and hopefully we can able to actually just, okay, so basically we need to hold the A button down to accelerate, and then press the L and R buttons to able to activate the cannonballs, and I think the cannonballs can be used to able to stun them, so let's get things to it. But either way though, because yeah, unlike in the original game, that you were able to actually get the ability to able to do a bit of a flap ability when you try to able to go across certain segments there. like, specifically in the beginning portion of the game, that if you either do it normally, or simply try to able to skip the tutorial and get it that way from the get-go. Whilst in here, though, you have to be able to unlock that move. Well, although in Banjo-Kazooie you get that from the start when you start the game off, because obviously you learn some of these moves ever since in the original game. So apart from those missing abilities from the original game or something like that, so. But I still managed to get the win, because if you couldn't tell, because of how the fact that if your character icon goes a bit higher up, like if your face is actually getting a bit bigger, that actually represents you're in first place. So, but if you're a little bit behind, then you're probably gonna lose that particular minigame anyway. But luckily, I managed to able to done it on my first attempt, so that should be pretty cool to noticing this from the get-go. So yeah, that's that. Alright, so now we need to able to get onto that particular segment up there, but first things first, I need to get back onto there and hopefully do some bit of flapping, flying, and we can able to get another music note. Oh my god, it looks like we only got 8 left when it comes to those music notes for that specific solution, but either way though, that hopefully we can able to actually get this done as soon as we're able to actually do. Actually, tell you what though, is the fact that whenever we're pretty much done with the forms of the majority of this world, or to be more specifically 100% everything on this world, I think I'm also able to try to explore for a little bit from the likes of the forms of Spiral Mountain, able to do some more objectives here and there. But either way though, that is mainly because of how the fact that, well, relatively speaking, I just feel like doing a lot of collectathon and stuff like that, so. Anyway, so let's go up here, and we can able to actually just do a bit of a backflip. Oh, and by the way, we need to watch out for that particular attack right there. Just managed to able to just spew out from one of those, I would say like a, I don't know what you would call these things, but anyway, let's do a backflip there, and get ourselves another Jiggy. So, only 2 more to go. So, yeah, feels like that we're almost done here, so. Anyway, so let's go and go back up there. And of course, the easiest way to get out of this particular location is the fact that, well, let me double check on the totals quickly. So I think we only got one more move we need to learn, and one more extra honeycomb piece, and 2 more Jiggies to go. And especially noticeable for this one last ginger we need to get. So hopefully we will be able to actually come across into those. And I think we need to able to now go into the forms of that particular the forest segment. Like, I know for the fact that we already technically been there before, but of course we can't do anything majority of it though, because we haven't got Kazooie back then. So at the very least we can now able to actually explore the actual Breegull Beak. So, and from here we get ourselves the awesome move in the game, which obviously it's gonna be Talent Trot. So in that way, we can now able to actually just run up on certain slopes. So, yeah, pretty cool, especially noticeable if you ever played the previous 2 games before, except the fact that it's now going to be on the Game Boy Advance. So, and to do that though, we need to press the L and the R button to able to activate the Talent Trot. So there we go, we can now run fast and also just, well, try to run up onto those specific hills. So, pretty cool and awesome at the same time. So, anyway, so I think if we go in here, we're able to get ourselves the extra honeycomb piece right here. And on top of all that stuff though, the rest of those remainings of those music notes, and I've managed to got every single Jinjos. So, and hopefully the actual Jiggies will able to actually just appear. So, your reward awaits. Yeah, of course. I will get there in a second, because I think there's going to be another challenge we can able to do. But first things first though, let me talk to this particular Breegull right here. So, Kazooie, you have brought a friend to the really ancient test of the ancient Breegulls. You look pretty ancient. So, yeah, that's as far as I can usually try to explain. Because I know for the fact that I was going to able to try to mention the actual dialogue, but unfortunately though, I need to cut to the chase. So, anyway, so I get the feeling on this particular challenge, I think it's going to be another one of those slide segments as far as I'm usually concerned with. And basically, we need to rescue, quite a large amount of collectibles we need to get. So in this case though, we need to head back up, and I think we can now able to deal with the forms of the slide. So hopefully we can able to actually do just that. So in this particular sliding segment, we need to catch about 20 worms that we can able to actually feed for, you know, the majority of the Breegulls. So, yeah, that should be, oh, and by the way, if you dare touch those spikes, you get stunned, but luckily you don't get hurt. So, at the very least, that's something you should usually keep in mind. Oh, jeez, this isn't good. Okay. Oh, I was literally one off. Hold on, let me try again. Oh, jeez. I hate when that happens. Especially that, again, if you get in contact with the actual spikes, you get yourselves a bit of a stunt. So, well, at least as far as that's been concerned with. So, let's try again for the second attempt, and hopefully we're all able to succeed. So, without even losing by one of those little worms to be able to catch. But there we go. Whew. That sure is a bit tough, but hey, at least it's something, I guess. So, anyway, so let's go ahead and meet up with the forms of... Oh, I guess we don't need to meet up with her, so we can just get the Jiggy from the get-go, and sure enough, we somehow managed to get out of there. So, anyway, so now let's go ahead and then head back into almost to the point on the actual entrance to this particular world, and hopefully we can able to actually get the last Jiggy on this particular world. So, of course, it's pretty obvious it's going to be on, you know, that Jinjo statue as we saw from earlier ago. So, yeah, it did took me about, surprisingly enough, it actually did took me about 30 plus minutes, assuming if I don't usually waste the time trying to able to explore the actual sense of confusion. But hopefully though, until whenever it gets to the point until the later worlds throughout the game. Although it might be still feels a bit slightly lengthy at certain points, but regardless of everything else though, it's just the fact that it usually always happens when it comes to like, you know, blind playthroughs, all that stuff though. Well, I'm not blind on this, so in this case though, now he's going to tell us about the fact that the next world we need to entering into is going to be involved surrounding, well, I'm sure we're able to actually find this out until whenever we're able to meet up with Jiggy Wiggy again. So, at the very least though, we now made it back to Spiral Mountain again, so now since we actually got ourselves Kazooie with us, so that means we can able to actually now do some more things with her. So, but first things first though, we need to go back onto Jiggy Wiggy's temple. So in this case though, it's not too far from here, I guess, and since we got about 21 of those Jiggies, so in this case though, the next world we need to able to actually access to, we need about 14 of them. So in this case though, the next world we're going to be entering into is Black or Bad Magic Bayou. I've no idea why I keep on saying black though. Maybe it's probably because I keep thinking about other stuff worth noting for. So I do apologize when my commentary gets a little bit of a slightly error. But hopefully though, until the next video though, I should be able to actually get myself not so much of an error when it comes to commentary in mind. So, anyway though, so let's go ahead and see the actual totals here so far. So, yeah, it feels like that we've almost at the 100% completion. In fact, I think we pretty much almost to the point that we pretty much almost at the halfway point of the 100% completion of this game. I mean, surely though, is the fact that we are slowly getting there, but regardless of such though, that's to be expected. So anyways, let's activate that particular thing right there, and then we should be able to actually access to the next world, which is located right up there in Spiral Rise, in the forms of, well, able to actually activate the entrance to, well, Bad Magic Bayou. So, at the very least, we've managed to able to access that. But we're not done with this yet, though, because I feel like we can probably able to actually collect even more Jiggies, especially noticeable because the next world we can able to actually access to when it comes to Jiggy amounts, we need to get about roughly 24 of them. So, at the very least, we can able to actually do some more stuff here and there. In fact, I feel like I was about to be able to try to actually unlock 2 worlds for only in this particular video's case, because, well, I just get the feeling that much like the forms of, let's just say in certain scenarios on Banjo-Kazooie, that basically sometimes I always love to able to actually see 2 worlds being activated if you manage to able to collect, you know, certain amount of Jiggies and stuff like that. So that's the only thing I do like about this. So anyway, so now we can able to grab even more music notes, and I see there's a music note of the Jiggy right up there, so do a backflip, and there we go. So at the very least so far we've got 2 Jiggies so far in Spiral Mountain, but slowly but surely, but we are slowly getting there when it comes to its sake of the forms of this progressioning for, You know what I mean. Oh, there's another Jiggy right over there. Just simply fly straight towards it, and there you go. Oh, jeez. That enemy right there that we saw from Cliff Farm. So... okay, so there's nothing up there, so I guess we should probably oh wait, there's actually some music notes there, so I've no idea why I just somehow managed to able to bypass that completely. Oh gosh, here's the random one. Gotcha, there we go. Huh, good thing we've got full health again. And of course, we actually stumbled across this particular mini dolphin right here, and I think we need to feed him for about I would classify for saying 10 of these things. Yeah, we'll go and accept this challenge. Because I think I get a strong feeling that once we've completed that specific challenge, then we can able to actually guarantee we can able to get another Jiggy. So basically we need to feed him for about, well, let's just say 10 eggs to him. So at the very least we can able to actually do just that. You can either just measure it either from left, right, or up, no down because of the forms of power fact that, well, you probably speak for itself when it comes to the actual screen capture, as you can tell, so... but all in all, this is pretty easy if you manage to be fast enough, but keep that in mind, you do have a time limit, so there we go, we get ourselves another Jiggy, so that also means we can now able to actually open up another world, so at the very least we've got 24 so far, so yeah, we'll try and do that quickly, so just in case if we can able to actually make the process of this entire Let's Play a bit faster, although mind you, about the fact the matter is though, in fact I'll save that conversation and during at some point later on this month, so at the very least that's something he's usually been looking forward to for the sake of conversations in mind or something like that, although despite the fact I just keep on getting hit most of the time with all that enemies and all that stuff, but regardless of such though, we can able to accept this fact. Although before we do that actually, before we able to activate the next world, well, it wasn't until whatever we get to later on though, oh I just realized I actually got enough of those honeycomb pieces, so that way we can able to actually meet up with our familiar character from the likes of in Banjo-Kazooie, but before we do that though, I need to double check on something, because obviously double checking on things is always a good thing in case if I'm missing something, so I get the feeling I don't feel like I'm missing something here, so I'm guessing that's good. So if we manage to able to, oh and by the way we can't able to actually do anything in here at the moment, so I guess we'll have to save that up until for later, so yeah, let's go ahead and climb all the way up higher up as we go along, and I think I just hear the familiar Jinjo. Yep, there's a Jinjo right here. And we got ourselves the actual Jiggy switch, so that way we can able to actually just deal with... I will classify for saying this is probably my least favorite kinds of challenges in terms of the forms of this particular game itself, along with the forms of the fishing ones, as you probably already know. And that's what appears to be those time-based objectives, which the reason why I don't like the forms of those time-based switches challenges-wise is probably because, like I said before, that this game does have a bit of a depth perception problem. So because of that though, if I was expecting, imagine this, right? That, as you probably already know, is I've already messed up on the first attempt because I was expecting to try to go into the bridge, but next you notice is the fact that the actual perspective sometimes managed to able to mess up with my movements. So hopefully we should probably try this again, and hopefully we'll be able to succeed in this, I hope. So like right here, that's basically, in addition to that though, you also need to be fast on these parts, because if you don't make it in a nick of time, then you have to start all over again and traversing back. So yeah, I messed it up for the second attempt, but luckily we were able to get more music notes there. So yeah, in addition with those fishing mission objectives, and especially noticeable with these time-based switches, those are considered as to be my least favorite mission objectives, because most of the time you can't really tell off the depth perception, or maybe it's probably because you need to be super extra fast on these specific segments like these ones, and it's just, you can't afford to mess it up, because if you do, then you have to be able to go all that backtracky stuff all over again, and on top of all that stuff though, you have to able to actually keep on trying and trying and trying this again. So at the very least, that's something. Oh, really? Oh, how does that even count? I seriously swear to God, I was gonna able to make it there, but then the game tells me, nope, the counter reaches to 0, so that means it just disappears automatically if the timer reaches to 0. Oh, that's a bit of a... I hate when that happened. Although, to be fair though, we'll just not able to keep trying, I guess, but it's just... Seriously, sometimes, certain time switches like these ones, it just always feels a bit too aggravating for me, especially that, like I said, because of the forms of how the fact that you have to do the ridiculous amount of trial and error, and on top of all that stuff though, with the depth perception, or in this case, hard to judge the distances, and it's just, it's not fun to me though, and there goes my 4th attempt on this particular stupid, Jiggy to get. In fact, kind of think about it, this is actually one of the hardest Jiggies to get. Well, along with other ones as well that involves around those stupid time-based switches, because the amount of time you get is just so impossible. Like, for instance, on this switch right there, you have about exactly 11 seconds, and because of that, if you don't make it in nick of time, well, you have to try and try and try and try again. So, yeah, these are it's essentially the hardest ones I can possibly imagine, so... There we go. Oh, jeez. 5 attempts on that particular godforsaken Jiggy. Oh my god. Anyway, so enough about that, Jibby Jebbers. I think we should probably go ahead and go up there and able to get another extra honeycomb piece, so that's actually pretty swell. And you can either just manage able to actually just save it up for later, or for my personal taste, I always go for the quickest method by, you know, trying to able to jump over for those fireballs, and that way I can get another Ginger, as you saw. And, yeah, before we, extend our, honeycomb health departments, we need to keep on exploring this for the most part, and I don't suppose we can able to actually do, actually, is there a way I can able to actually just, oh, I can hear that another Jinjo from a get-go, so, we'll try to find him as much as we can, so, oh, speaking of such, we found him, so, but it's just a shame that we can't usually see him, visibility-wise, because, well, like I said, because of the forms of the depth perception, that's, you know what I mean, certain, mountain sites can usually just sometimes block certain items that you can't really see on screen, and thus there's no camera involved, unlike in Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, so, at the very least, that you're gonna have to able to do a massive guesswork when it comes to looking at certain things, so, look, here's the forms of, Honey Bee. So it's been a while, hasn't it, after the events of Banjo-Tooie. So, what basically the Honey Bee allows you to able to actually give you some health pickups, well, to be more specifically, extend your honeycombs, so that way if you keep on collecting more of those extra honeycomb pieces throughout the whole game, then basically your health will able to extend. You know, just like in the forms of how it does it on, you know what I mean, Banjo-Tooie and stuff like that. Unlike the original game, that you get yourselves the extension immediately if you manage able to collect all 6 of those specific pieces. So, anyways though, but here's the thing in this game though, is the fact that I think there's only a grand total of 12 of them, so I don't think we can able to reach up for about, let's just say 10 extendable health meter and stuff like that, unlike in Banjo-Tooie, and especially noticeable with double the amount of health from the likes of the forms of Banjo-Kazooie from likely 16, assuming if you keep on collecting more of those, you know, Jiggies and all that stuff though, so at the very least that's something it's usually get a hold of, so... Yeah, because I don't think there's any Mumbo token to be collected in there, so, jeez, I just realized we only got 1 Jinjo left, and we only got 23 music notes, and we got 4 of those Jiggies left for Spiral Mountain, so, yeah, at the very least we are usually getting there for the sake of progressioning for, you know, Spiral Mountain as far as this is concerned, so, because, you know, it's actually getting very ridiculously quick if you manage to able to know what you're doing, but most of the time though, it's just the depth perception as always becomes my biggest problem I have with the game, because, well, I get it because this is on the Game Boy Advance, so I guess that's that, so... Anyways, let's meet up with Jiggy Wiggy again, and we can able to actually open up the next world, which is Spiller's Harbor. Okay, seems legit. Especially noticeable, it almost kind of reminds me like a Rusty Bucky Bay vibe to it, although we'll probably have to wait and find out until at some point in next Thursday, because like I said, although I don't suppose I actually mentioned about this, but I think I should probably say it anyway, for the majority of the time for the actual uploading schedules on this game, it'll be Tuesdays and Thursdays basically, because this Let's Play is going to be really short. Unlike Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie are considered to be one of the longest of the bunch, so mainly in Banjo-Tooie's case. So there we go, we've opened up the second world for this video for some considerable time, and the next world is not going to be accessible until we get 39 Cheekies. That's going to be a really long time to able to actually just get this process done. So, anyways though, with that being said though, I think we should probably guarantee that as soon as we make our way to the third world, I think we should probably make our way and pretty much end things off here. So join me next time for more of Let's Play of Banjo-Kazooie Grunty's Revenge. It's the fact that we're going to be moving on to the third world in this game, known as Bad Magic Bayou. So I'll see you guys until on Tuesday. Later, fellas.